Assalamu alaikum. Everyone who knows me or who is aware of me, I'd like to introduce myself right now. My name is Mohammed Ahmed. And I identify as a black deaf Muslim. And my background is I'm actually from Djibouti, the west part of the comments that the sister just said. And when I came here to Canada, I was at the age of 3. I went to a school that was a mainstream environment, both deaf and hearing students. And I graduated around grade 8. And the school itself, the response to students in that environment in the elementary school or in the high school that were both deaf and hearing. So having that experience in the graduation, before then I did not even think of myself as a deaf black Muslim. The identity was there, but it wasn't in the forefront of my mind. Later on, when I started studying and taking a look about my identity, I started looking at the barriers and the intersectionality, being black, first of all, and then being deaf, and then the third component as being Muslim. So looking at those 3 barriers, I would focus once I would have my barriers that were really there, that were so obvious, was the sign language that I could not communicate to my hearing peers. In terms of accessibility, it was hard. The communication was not there. It was lacking. Hearing people, for example, who don't know sign language, and then there was sign language that was diversified within the deaf community. For example, there was other barriers that I experienced being deaf, and those tend to be discriminatory in terms of finding employment. So that accompanied with having a disability, employers tend to look at it but tend to look at the disabled community. But at the same time, my disability is one that is invisible, so they cannot see that I have a disability. Being deaf is obvious. I'm using my hands, but it's the accessibility to the world that I don't have. In terms of what I just spoke about, the employment factor, and being a deaf Muslim, that's quite a different story. And there's an oppression that stems there too when it comes to, I would say, going to Friday prayer at Salat. And the speakers that are, the imam that is having that speech that day, I have no idea what is being said because there's no interpreter present. So there's lots of things that could be in place that are not. So there's oppression that it just doesn't stem in the big world, but also in the Islam community. So there's a lot of mosques that focus on the numbers of people that come into attendance. And most of those people are hearing, and they cater towards the masses. But when it comes to the disability community, whether you're deaf or you're blind or you're in a wheelchair, there's not, the accessibility is taking a backseat to that. And I know that has a lot to do with the numbers, because there are not that many numbers, but at the same time, there's not that much awareness or wanting to make those accommodations. And there's a lot of communities who are involved with the deaf community, the deaf Muslim community. There's a lot of programs that are out there. There's classes. There's a lot of classes that teach specifically what Islam is all about, the history. So a lot of awareness. And the classes that we're trying to get, I remember I'm trying to recall back when I met someone in the family. And that person, that family member, had children, but they didn't know anything about Islam. And I'm talking about a friend who was deaf. And the activities that were there, they were part of the activities, but they didn't have, the problem was that they didn't know the history about Islam. So the children were hearing, and they were more curious about how the father, they were asking, how do we teach the father? The problem is they couldn't teach the father because they didn't know how to. the children were hearing, but the father was deaf. And that made a big barrier, and no one knew how to communicate in sign language. So it was a very tragic, almost sad, because it's not inclusive. And the responsibility fell upon the grandparents or the extended family to teach the children, and they didn't have that father was missing that relationship with their child and Islam. So it's nothing new. This is something that has been taking place for so many years, and there's a definite need for Muslims to be involved, deaf Muslims to be involved in that community. But the inclusivity part is not there because of the accessibility or lack thereof. And then they're kind of stuck in a place where no one is there to help them. And that influences a lot of what you see after when you see people who are struggling with health issues, such as being suicidal, or not having any family relationship with their own family because they're not included in the community or the wider community. So they're put on the sidelines and they're very isolated in that same state, and that leads to all these health issues that basically become sadness. Sadness turns into depression. So lastly, I just want to talk about myself and my identity, being a black male. So growing up, going to school, we had different choices of what courses that you want to enroll in. And I knew that the courses that I want to enroll in were not really given to me or presented to me in a way where they thought that I could do those certain courses. They thought that I was not ready or capable of taking certain courses, so they presented to me lower academically courses that they thought suited me most. So that was like the ideology that they had in terms of where I fit into that system, being a black male. So those were the things that I had to fight against and to make that transition so I could be more of a pioneer, being black and being deaf, and having those that came after me so they could have a better life. So it's a systemic barrier that everyone has to go through. Now, being a deaf Muslim, the community itself, I've gone to many communities within the GTA, and it seems that there's a lot of programs there, but there's no programs exclusively for deaf Muslims. And the reason why is because there's so many deaf Muslims, but we're asking and we're trying to come to a consensus is where would we actually come to a mosque that would have some kind of accessibility. And a lot of people, they don't have the interest, the deaf Muslims that are black, because they feel that they're not included and they're missing out on all the information. They're bored, basically. There's no accessibility there, so why go? So it's a human rights issue as well. And that's not only the issue, but there's also other things where we're trying to get friends to go to mosque, but then there's other peers in their age group that are trying to, because of that boredom factor at the mosque, we're trying to get them into things that, club life or party life or something, or their parents, they don't have a connection with their parents, and that leads them astray, so to speak. So there's a lot of influences that come from not having this accessibility. And then, because of that, it would be nicer to have parents who knew how to speak to their children, or when I say speak, I mean use American Sign Language with their deaf children, or vice versa. Their children use it with their their hearing parents or deaf parents. So a month ago, I developed a new project, and it was a lot of what is in the Qur'an. can someone help me out? How do you say chapter?
Surah.
So there's a lot of surahs that I've translated into ASL, and I've translated into a blog basically on Facebook. And I've taken everything that I've known and could put out there, and there was so many things, and it was so overwhelming from the people. The people that I've had over thousands and thousands of replies from Africa, from Australia, from Asia, as well as from Europe, Northern Europe especially, and even in the States. So everyone was involved in that project, so it was really overwhelming. And those deaf Muslims have contacted me in relation to making more content, more resources, because it is sorely lacking. The only issue that is the problem is it's hard to connect with people because sometimes there is a little, in terms of identity, some people are not, they don't have the time, the resources, being in different countries, or they're just not comfortable in their own identity. So it's hard to reach out and get more people on board. So it's really difficult for that sense, but it is coming, and the ASL is there. And ASL that is a Muslim-friendly content. So this is what I've been doing overall, and this is my experience, so I'm glad to have shared it with you. And hopefully everything has been understandable.